So I'm starting 10-minute tutorials, and they're going to be Mondays and Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. And we're going to go over focused postures, transitions. This is my first time ever going live on Instagram, so bear with me. Hopefully I get through this tutorial in 10 minutes. So today we're going to be doing down dog to runner's lunge, and it might not be the coolest Instagram pose or transition, but it will help out your regular practice a lot. So we'll do 4 drills, and then we'll do a complete transition breakdown, and then we'll go ahead and do some modifications as well. So we'll be going pretty briefly through the exercises, so if you want to circle back and practice these at home, you can. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. And I'm going to be over here on my mat, and we'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to start off with some exercises to strengthen your psoas, which are your hip flexors, your core, and your shoulder protracting muscles, which are really crucial to being able to step your foot from down dog to runner's lunge. So we'll start on our backs, and you're going to extend your left leg long, and then go ahead and draw your right knee in towards your right armpit. So we're contracting our right hip flexor and extending the left hip flexor. Good, you're going to squeeze the knee in as close to the body as possible, so you're really strengthening through the right psoas. And then you're going to try to keep the knee as close to the body as you can as you let go of the hand. So you'll feel your right hip flexor working a lot, and we'll hold for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. And then go ahead and extend the right leg, and we'll do that on the left side. So you're going to draw the left knee in towards the left armpit, and you're going to squeeze it in tightly using the help of your bicep strength. And all the while I'm lengthening my right hip flexor. Good, now we're going to try to keep the knee as close into the body as possible as we let go of the hand. So we're really working this left hip flexor, and we'll hold and breathe for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then go ahead and just let the knees kind of go side to side, windshield wiping the legs, just finding a little release. And so that's the first exercise that you can do. The next exercise that we can start to work on is drawing the knee to the chest from tabletop. Before we do so, I want to talk about something in stepping forward from down dog to runner's lunge. So in order to get the foot between the hands, you want as much space between your chest and the mat as possible. So we call this shoulder protraction when you press the hands into the ground and you create more space between the shoulder blades. So you're pressing the shoulder blades away from each other, and you're zipping the belly button in towards the spine. Good. So we'll start from a neutral spine. You'll inhale, extend the right leg back. And as you exhale, draw the knee to the nose, protract through the shoulders like we just practiced, and really engage that right hip flexor, drawing the top of the thigh as close to the torso as possible. Make sure the shoulders don't shift back behind the wrist. And then inhale, extend the right leg. Exhale, draw the knee in. Good. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Using the breath. Exhale. And then we'll switch sides. So set the right knee down. And then you'll extend the left leg back. Inhale as you expand. Exhale as you contract. Draw everything in. Protract through the shoulders like we practiced. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, knee in, contract. Good, 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. And so we're going to take this up a notch. We're going to really work on our core muscles without letting the shoulder blades collapse. So we're going to take this shoulder protraction, hip flexor exercise even deeper. So you're going to press into your hands. Imagine you're in cat pose, really hollowing out through the belly and creating more space between the chest and the ground. You'll tuck your toes and hover your knees 2 inches above the mat. Good, you can practice just staying here or take the exercise we did before. So you'll inhale, extend the right leg back. Try not to collapse the shoulders. Exhale, draw it in. Good, inhale, extend. Keep that left knee from moving ideally. Exhale, draw it in. One more, inhale. And exhale, draw it in. And then set the right toes down and we'll switch sides. So keep protracting through the shoulders. Hang in there, keep breathing. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, draw it in. 2 more, inhale. Trying to keep everything else from moving. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. And then set it down. Whew. And then extend the arms out long. Just getting a little stretch, maybe wiggling the shoulders side to side. Good, so that was the second 2 exercises that you can do to warm up for this. The final one is similar, it's just standing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shift my weight into one foot. If you need to use a wall to help with your balance, you can. And I'm gonna draw my knee in as close to the chest as possible. So again, lengthening my left hip flexor, contracting my right. Just like we do when we step forward, we wanna get the thighs close to the torso as possible. So we'll use our arm strength to help us at first, just increasing our range of motion. And then try to keep the knee as high as possible, release the hands and take 10 pulses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then set the foot down and shake out the knees, and we'll switch sides. So interlace the hands underneath the shin. Draw the knee towards the left armpit, using your bicep strength to increase that range of motion. Now we're gonna kick it into gear and use our left hip flexor strength to keep the knee there. So try not to lower the knee as you let go. Should be challenging. And we'll take little pulses of the knee up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And shake it out. Okay, so those I went through pretty quickly. You can do them more at home if you have time. I'm gonna give you a complete transition breakdown. A lot of stepping the foot between the hands is in the technique. And then I'll show you 3 ways that you can modify. So, we're gonna start in our downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up and back. Right, so we use the breath to expand and contract. So we inhale as we lift the right leg high to the sky. Now, oftentimes I see students trying to bring the knee in as they're shifting forward, and then the knee's really far away from the chest, and it's hard to step the foot through. So, one thing I like to do here is as I exhale, without leaving my down dog shape, I'm gonna draw my knee as close to my nose as possible. So I'm drawing everything in. Good, and then I'm gonna try to keep that same distance between my nose and my knee as I roll forward to my plank. So you'll notice in doing so, my back stays rounded, and I keep this shoulder protraction shape that we've been working on, pressing the back of my heart towards the sky, my chest further away from the ground. And then at the last moment, gaze forward, step forward. And then we repeat on the other side. If you want to practice the reverse of this, you'll protract through the shoulders, knee to nose, lift the foot, come back, and step back. So we'll inhale left leg high. We're staying in our down dog to start as we draw the knee into the nose. Trying to keep my knee as close to my nose as possible. I'm going to roll forward, protracting through the shoulders, engaging my left hip flexor. Gaze forward, step forward. Good. So again, you can do the reverse of this as well. So you'll protract through the shoulders, press the ground away. Knee to nose, try to lift that heel towards the glute. Come back and step back. Now, you might be pretty close, but not quite there yet. So one thing you can do to modify is if you have blocks at home, if you have textbooks at home, something to add a little height underneath the hands, that really helps. And blocks are a great way in down dog just to take some of the weight out of the arms in general. So great modification if you have any wrist pain or anything like that. And you do the same thing. You're inhaling right leg high. Drawing the knee to the nose first. Exhaling, carrying you all the way through to set the foot through. And then you repeat the other side. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. And then as I'm rolling forward, I forgot to mention this, but the more you press through the ball mound of the back foot, the more your shin contracts the knee up towards the torso. So everything's hollowing out. Good. Now, let's say in class, you're still having a hard time stepping the foot through. You're here and you land here. Rather than trying to do like a weird shuffle to get the foot forward, one little hack is you can grab your right ankle or left ankle with your outside hand and pop it forward. Because it's important to have the foot between the hands. You don't want to enter your high lunge from here or your warrior two, because then your legs are out of alignment. So you want to get that foot forward however way works best for you. And then I've had students where even that might not work in their body just yet, so I recommend coming to tabletop, grabbing your knee, popping the foot forward, and then retucking the back toes, and lifting the back knee. Okay. So, I'm checking the time right now. It says I've been live for just over 10 minutes. So that was my 10-minute tutorial for today. Feel free to DM me with questions. I'll post it to my story after. Hope it was helpful, and have a great rest of your day.